Columnist and author Michelle Malkin is our guest for the next hour on the Washington Journal. Who Built That is her most recent book. First line in this book: many of you know me as that angry brown lady on cable TV who's always yelling at liberals. Why'd you start there?
Well, I have built up a persona, obviously, not only over the last quarter century that I've worked in print journalism, but certainly over the last decade that I've been on TV. And, as I think as a natural result of those appearances, people have derived a sense that I'm always that, wet, white, tightly wound up person who's always yelling, always mad. And this book obviously was inspired by the phrase, "You didn't build that," from Obama. But it is not an angry book. And so I wanted to sort of jar people right away and then pivot, because ultimately it's a celebration of American history.
Well, let's go back to 2012 when that comment was made by the president and what you built off that comment.
And there are a lot of wealthy, successful Americans who agree with me because they want to give something back. They know they didn't. If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we have that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet. The point is that when we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we do things together.
Michelle Malkin, listening to that, you've been shaking your head for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm ending up with a smile on my face only because I feel pity for the president, because I found that entire diatribe to be both historically ignorant and cynically demagogic. And I think people often forget, and I'm so glad that you played that passage in its entirety, because it wasn't merely about arguing that other people helped you. You could hear the dripping contempt he has for individual inventors and entrepreneurs who firmly believe, and rightly so, that it is their initiative. It's the individual conception and vision of these makers and builders that provide innovation. And I am chilled, and I hope every entrepreneur who's responsible for a business that he or she has built is also chilled by the fact that there was a rousing applause and clapping when he said in that kind of sneering little tone of his, "You think you're so smart? You think you work harder?" Well, actually, President Obama, there are smarter people than him, and certainly smarter than me in this world, who have done far more good than all of these top-down central planners who think they're responsible for innovation in America.